Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds. What's up, Raina Ray? Pauline Conway. What's up, Pauline? Ruth Robinson. Justin Pickcock. Helen Childress. Joe Delaney, what up? Eric Edmonds, Georgia in the building. Les Charles, what's up, Les Charles? Miss Jazzy is in the building. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Brenda Taylor, what it do? Tommy Catchins, put a picture up of my man right quick, and then I'm gonna go in. We have an aspiring doctor who was left brain dead after his so-called friends pushed him in a lake, knowing damn well he couldn't swim. What do you think they told the authorities once the authorities showed up? We didn't know he couldn't swim. The family don't believe them. There's a video that shows the group casually peering into the water moments after they shoved Christopher Gilbert off the dock at Lake Dearborn in Farmville on April 14th. It's Lake Dearborn. That's how you pronounce it, Lake Dearborn. At least one woman can be seen slowly entering the water before abandoning the rescue mission. It was another 10 minutes before a patron at a nearby restaurant intervened and yanked Christopher back to land. And it was just in the nick of time, because had it been just seconds later, Christopher would not be here with us today. In any event, the 26-year-old was brain dead, and the rest of his organs were starting to fail by the time he arrived at a local hospital, his mother, Yolanda George, said. She said he spent 72 hours on a ventilator and an ECMO machine, which his mom described as dialysis for the lungs. She said that she was devastated. She felt that her life had ended in that moment. Her son, being an aspiring medical doctor, was going to be a medical doctor. He got his master's last year in biological science. He was preparing for medical school. So for this to have happened to him, obviously she was devastated. According to police, his so-called uncivilized mutt friends initially tried to pass off the near death as horseplay. Now, this is according to the police, fam. So if this is according to the police, let's see how the police handle this. Check this out, family. Check this out. Let me put a picture of Christopher up. I'm gonna so there's the lake in the middle. That's Christopher after on the left, before to the right, obviously, after he received his master's. Check this out, family. His so-called friends, they even told the lie to his mama in the moments after he was rescued. A friend of his called and said she was hysterically crying. This is what the mom said. The mom said the friend called and was hysterically crying. She told Christopher's mom that he fell into a lake and he had been underwater for 10 minutes or so. Eventually, check this out, fam, the plot thickens. A white female around the same age as Christopher Gilbert admitted to pushing him into the lake. None of his friends, however, admitted to knowing he could swim. That's a claim that Christopher's mom finds hard to believe. To add insult to injury, after pushing him, not one of his friends in his so-called friend group attempted to go in after him. Let me say that again. After they pushed him into the lake and he was fighting for his life, and you know what it looks like when somebody is in the water drowning and they're fighting for their life. You know how horrible something like that looks. But not one of his so-called friends in his so-called friend group attempted to go in after him. Instead, two brave bystanders who had no relationship at all to Christopher heard the commotion and retrieved his body from the lake. Salute to those two heroes. The rest of you uncivilized musk and kick it where the sun don't shine. Boy, y'all some low down, dirty mother. Boy, that's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded. Here old Christopher out hanging with his so-called friends, thinking he's one of the equals. He's their equal. They love him like he loved them. They're going to look after him like he would look after them. They would save him like he would save them. And they literally left him for dead. They left him for dead. Fortunately, Christopher has made some strides since the ruthless, uncalled for, demonic attack against him. He is responding cognitively, but he cannot speak. This is according to his mother. He still relies on life support, and his lungs are said to be at 20% capacity. The family is also demanding that an arrest be made in the tragic incident. The family's lawyer says the friends displayed criminal intent by pushing him into the lake. So I ask you again, fam, why would you push someone into a body of water that is deep enough to drown them, knowing they can't swim, unless you intended on murdering them. I'm going to tell you something, family. I'm going to call a strike and a ball a ball. I love all y'all, but you uncivilized mutts, I ain't got nothing for you but some pain. I've seen this time and time and time again. I've seen so many situations where black friends were hanging out with their white friends and the black person ended up dead. I have yet to see a situation where a group of black kids were hanging out with a white friend, or even a group of black adults were hanging out with their white adult friend, and the white adult friend ended up dead. Now, this is a shoe fit wear scenario here, fam. To all my white people out there that's rocking with me, you rock with me, I rock with you. If you living your life upright, that's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. But you know, like I know, y'all got members of y'all group who are some uncivilized mutts who hate black people to the core, and they want to cause harm to black people. You know that for a fact. And if you don't know it, you're in denial. So I'm calling out the ones who got that thirst to harm black bodies. Some of them live for that. Some of them have that in them, where they want to harm black bodies. Like, they mad that they missed out on the free-for-all during slavery. They mad that they missed out on the 60s, when you could just lynch black people and go to court and laugh about it and have your all-white jury knowing you're going to be acquitted. You can just actually be caught on tape saying you did it and everything and still get acquitted. They missed the glory days. That's what they missed them days. They missed those days. So they secretly, a lot of them want to be, they missed the days where they could just go in and rape a black woman and get away with it. Make a black man call him sir and bow down and don't look at me, don't make eye contact. They missed them days. They wish, they envy their grandfathers, their great-great-grandparents and all that. They envy that era. They want that back dearly. So if they can get it back in a subtle way where they can be, especially like in a little small town where you can literally get away with murder. Look, let me tell you, I'm telling you some good shit right now, family. I've been covering these stories since I've been on YouTube for about 6-7 years. And I've covered story after story after story of a black person hanging out with their so-called white friends, and the black person ended up dead. I ain't even seen a story. If there's one out there, let me know. I'll cover it, where a white person was hanging out with their group of black friends, and the white person ended up dead. And in most of the cases, nobody was brought to justice. In most of the cases, the homicide was ruled a suicide. Or an accident. Nobody went to jail. Nobody even was convicted. I mean, nobody was indicted. Nobody spent a day in jail. Nobody had the cuffs put on them, not once. You got some towns, fam, out there. You got some places out here in America where these type of uncivilized mutts, they gather, they live in these places because they want to be able to roll back the clock. They want to turn back the hand of the clock. You better be very careful in these little small towns where You got the sheriff is the husband of the judge. And then you got the the comptroller is the son. The daughter works in the permit department. The uncle is the chief of police / school superintendent. You couldn't pay me to live in a town like that. They're trying to cover this case up. Everybody know what it is. I have yet to see the friends. We only know that there was one so far that's been identified, one white female friend. I'm sure we know what the others look like, but hey, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's wait. Let's wait till it roll out, because it's gonna roll out. It's gotta roll out. They ain't gonna be able to sweep this under the rug because it's out. The cat is out the bag. And that's what these little small country towns count on. They count on not getting the exposure, not having these type of stories be exposed, not having their dirty little secrets exposed. They count on that. Going into the comments. What's up, world traveler? Pamela H, what up? A lot of us thought that, this whole racial thing was behind us. Not me, but a lot of people, they thought that the whole racial thing was behind us after Obama's 2 terms. We saw the culmination of this 50-year period culminating around this notion that individualism of personal relationships or proximity of each other would bring us somehow closer together. Like somehow things were going to get better because we have individual relationships. Because I have a personal relationship with my white friends. I'm thinking, yo, it's cool, everything cool. Everybody else cool. Because we live in close proximity, we work in close proximity, or we play, we club, we hang out. Well, everything must be good. We go to the games together and we high five. We thinking everything cool. But I want you to pay attention. Next time you go to one of those baseball games or basketball games or football games and you high fiving, pay attention to how we respond to one another once we leave that stadium. Once everybody get back to that parking lot and get inside of that car, we locking those doors, and just like that, you might experience some road rage from somebody who you were sitting right next to or behind, because that switch flips on, and to where we don't trust each other. And next thing you know, we right back where we started. football games, the concerts, the baseball games, the basketball games. It can give you a false illusion. I mean, well, illusion is false, but it can give you a false sense of security, make you think that somehow things are better than what it is. Ain't it funny that when you are watching sports, it don't matter what color the person is. If both of us are rooting for the same team, we're hoping the best for every single player on that team. We want the best. We want that player to score. We want them to get the rebound. We wishing that person all of the success in the world as an athlete. And we don't want that person to get injured or anything. We don't want no harm to come to them, because we need that person to satisfy our sports fantasies. You know, we might be betting on that person, so we riding for them. We want the best for them. But outside of that, fuck them in the ass. That's our mentality. Talk to me, fam. I'm listening. C. Lee, what up? What's up, Sean Lunatic? Prince of Peace. Brandy Nuance, what up? Christopher Cox. Bobby Wilmore, what it do? You know, pushing people into a body of water should be a crime, period. It doesn't matter if they get injured or not. If you push somebody into a body of water, that should just automatically be a crime. It's damn near like pushing somebody into the street. You don't know if that person gonna get hit by a car or not. You just impulsively push somebody in the street. You think it's funny. Next thing you know, somebody's brain splattered all over the concrete. Pushing people into water, it should be a crime. There's been too many situations where people have died after being pushed into water. That should be a felony. The fact that they pushed him into the water, and then when they saw, they can claim that they didn't know he couldn't swim all they want to. But the fact that they pushed him into the water and then watched him drown, you know, because the one chick that jumped into the water, she jumped in, but then she retreated. But the rest of them, and including her later, just watched him sink. They just watched him sink. They didn't try to do anything. The fact that they pushed him into that water and nobody tried to save them. Shows intent. Now I want to see what the outrage going to be like, because there was a whole lot of outrage when that little black girl slammed that white girl head into the concrete. There was a whole lot of outrage for that. They wanted her dead. She needed to be in prison for life. She needed a life sentence. Where are all of these people at today? They are conspicuously quiet. I wonder why. Surely it has nothing to do with race. A drowning person can drown a rescuer if they don't know how to rescue correctly. All right, Dex, now tell us something we don't know. Tell us something we don't know. How about stick to the subject of these so-called friends pushing the boy into the water and watching him drown? If they don't push him into the water, ain't no need to go in and try to rescue him. You sound like you working for the defense, Dex. Somebody said Texas is racist as hell. Whole United States of America racist. It ain't just Texas, it's all over. Some states just worse than others. That tripped me out when I hear people in America try to look at southern states and talk about how racist southern states are. You damn look, if LA and New York was so good, why the hell black people moving from LA and New York? If they got it so good out there, why they moving? I'll wait. Why the hell black people moving if they got it so good? That's because all this stuff is racist. All of them, every state on, every one of them racist. And the state with the most white people in it is more racist than all of the states. So when you start talking about Idaho and Montana and Connecticut, Massachusetts, you ain't seen racism. Yeah. They just got that so-called polite type racism. But you better believe they as racist as any of the other ones. Certain places in Texas, not Houston, but certain places in Texas and Florida, damn near all of Mississippi, yeah, all of Mississippi, Alabama, they're just crud, uncouth, just uncouth with their racism. You know, they don't, but they just don't know how to hide it. It's almost like dealing with Trump and Biden. You know, Biden is just better with hiding his racism. That's all. They're the same people. Yeah, these southern states, they're just more crud. That's all. But everywhere you go, all throughout America, you can't dodge it. You can't miss it. If there was a state, you better believe that it would have been flipped by now. You'd have had majority of black people in it. Even Atlanta, I be hearing people talking about Atlanta, the black Mecca, and black Atlanta. Atlanta, you still got black folks getting shot in the head by the white police in Atlanta. Some of y'all be acting like Atlanta is not in the United States. I bet you $1 to a donut. The reason they pushed that boy in that water is because they was jealous of him. They was jealous of his academic success. They was jealous that he was probably smarter than all of them put together. I bet you $1 to a donut. Manny E, what up? Why does black people hanging out with their white friends keep ending up dead? And I've yet to see a white person hanging out with their group of black friends who ended up dead. I ain't seen it yet. Y'all should show me the article or whatever, and I'll run it. But I keep running these reports of black people who hung out with their white friends, and the black person only one end up dead. And they end up always calling it an accident. Most time they call it an accident, and then other times they call it suicide. Y'all remember Tamla Horsford, the black woman who was murdered at a slumber party in 2018? She was hanging out with her white friends. All the white people in the house. Only the black person ended up dead. Now, either black folks just got bad luck when they hang out with their white friends, or something more sinister is going on. Tamla's family is still waiting for justice. I seriously doubt that will ever happen. Tamla did have one white friend who stood up for her. She wasn't at that slumber party, but she did have one white friend who risked it all by standing up for her and demanding justice. I don't remember the lady's name, but she put it out there. She called him out. She said, it's a cover-up going on. My friend was killed. She's about the only person in that entire town that was white who publicly stood up for Tamla. The rest of them was, I don't know. I ain't seen nothing. Yep, you got to do. I just came out and she was dead. They killed that woman, a married mother of 5. They just killed her, and that was it. They swept it under the rug. They were saying something about how the police had close connections to people that was to the homeowner. and other people that was at the scene of the crime. This dude probably ain't gonna never be the same. He probably, you know, his lungs are only functioning at 20% capacity. So, you know, he got a long road to recovery. I mean, he got a long, I'm not saying it can't happen, but he got a long road to recovery. Long road. That looks like, I think that might be a picture that was taken. Well, I'm not sure if that was a picture that was taken shortly after his death. That picture to the right that you see, I'm not sure if that was a picture that was taken shortly after his death. Well, not his death, but after the near-death experience. But that is a picture of the lake. This man goes from that to this. This is what hanging out with the wrong folks would do to you, fam. This is what trusting the wrong people will do to you. This is what trusting the wrong people will get you. And make no mistake, you know, it's important to add that this could actually happen to you if you're black and you're hanging out with black people. You're hanging out with people that look like you. Just hanging out with the wrong kind of people. The wrong type of people can put you in some really bad situations. Still waiting on justice for Shanquella Robinson, who died while on vacation in Mexico with her 6 so-called friends. Hanging out with her so-called friends. Still waiting on justice for her. Code thing is the code game is Mexican authorities confirmed that they believed Shanquella died as a result of a physical attack. They believe she died as a result of a physical attack, but no arrests have been made in her death. And this is a cold game. Remember, fam, Shanquilla's friends initially told authorities that she died of alcohol poisoning, but an autopsy later conducted by the Mexican officials revealed Shanquella likely died as a result of a spinal injury. Shortly after her death, the video surfaced online showing a naked Shanquella being physically attacked by one of her fellow friends. He had another one even telling Shanquella to fight back. The cold part is Shanquella paid for the trip. So essentially, she financed her murder. Cold game, man. You got to be very, very careful with the people you hang around. You got to be very careful about picking the people you're going to hang around. You got to be very, very careful. You got one life to live. Don't take it for granted. Till next time, fam, y'all enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world.